Welcome to CapeCast. How's it going tonight, gentlemen? Brandon, how you doing?
Great, Brandon. How are you?
You look super high energy tonight. I'm really excited about it. Chris, how are you doing?
Well, I jumped the gun a minute ago. Tried to cut off Brandon, but I'm great. Still great.
Cool. Good.
I'm always excited to be here.
Nice.
We're glad you're here.
Britt had some scheduling conflicts going on this evening.
Did some Marvel things to get through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's polishing up his shield before his next podcast.
He's rewatching WandaVision
Yeah.
in full tonight. Trying to pick up on some more Mephisto Easter eggs.
It's there.
Anyways, we are back for our third part review of our Zack Snyder's Justice League review series. Tonight we will be reviewing Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. Oh, look at him. He's on top of it tonight. He was a little slow last week, but he's on top of it tonight.
This boy quick when he wants to be. Don't let that country twang fool you.
That's right. So, Chris, we open up this part with some Flash goodness.
We do.
Yes.
Mr. Barry Allen.
That's right. You got the whole welcome to Central City, reduced speed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The classic street sign there. It's always a nice little touch. And then we get the dog shop interview where right before the Iris West and Barry Allen I guess first meet cute sequence. Yeah, meet cute.
It is a meet cute. Even though Iris is unaware of this meet cute, it is a meet cute.
She knows.
I mean,
That's
eventually
right.
it's,
Yeah.
That's all right, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's okay.
She didn't know.
So, Chris, I want to ask you before we say anything.
Okay.
Since you're the Flash guy, what were your thoughts on this sequence as a whole?
This sequence has grown on me so much from the first little sneak that we got before to like seeing it the first time, seeing it through, and like however many times I've seen it now. I still kind of have like that argument in my head of like, do I like Ezra Miller playing Barry Allen? I think he's fine. I don't have any complaints at this point. Like I've always had a picture of Flash in my head, and he's not quite it, but there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. And if I kind of like remove myself from him, I still think, a lot of the dialogue and how he delivers it is, accurate Flash as far as I'm concerned, as kind of the nerd fan who's, not somebody that was turned on when the CW or whatever they call the channel now, came up with their show. I mean, I've loved the Flash for as long as I can remember. Yeah, I mean, I really like this interpretation of Barry Allen, the quick wit dialogue, the awkwardness. A lot of the stuff we've seen, he can kind of like annoy people with his like mile an hour talk and just go off his tangents and distract himself. And I think we get all of that.
Nickel penny.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise,
Brandon. Oh my goodness.
What does he say about the past participle or something?
Resume.
Resume, I presume. Paper Monster hungry.
With the world's happiest lady.
That's one of the parts where I always lean over. Brandon always says I lean over. No, that's the part that I always laugh at when he says Paper Monster hungry. I don't know why. It's funny.
Yeah. Funny guy.
Yeah.
Funny.
But yeah, the whole sequence is cool. Definitely has grown on me. I know like when the first little sneak came out, we kind of all touched base on it. There's a few things that bugged me in it. I still don't love the shoe thing, but overall, everything else that I kind of complained about or kind of stuck out to me, I've really just come to embrace.
Explain to the people what you mean by the shoe thing.
Well, I figured we'd get to that point, and I don't want to say too much on my initial, right?
Okay.
Or should I just dive in? Are you guys in charge? This is your podcast. You tell me.
We're just diving in. We're not doing initial reviews in this. We're just
diving in.
Yeah.
Just the little, when he stops time or slows it, or he kind of hones in and it zooms into his self-made sneakers. I guess that he has, because they look like his. They got the lightning bolt in the color. I don't know. I just don't love the like a little twist explosion. So we saw the sketches and we saw that he made his suit, so I can only assume that he made his sneakers. Just they don't hold up too well. So I don't love that, but it's my nitpicking on this scene. But everything else is super cool.
I don't think they're his. They're just sneakers, right? I mean, I don't think they're like.
I know, Brandon. He didn't actually make them.
This is why I
got the
asked
lightning
Chris
bolt
this,
on them.
because I know that you guys kind of butt heads on the shoe thing for some reason.
Well, he wasn't. Chris, he didn't anticipate having to do this today. You know.
I know he didn't
So-
anticipate it, and I don't care that
He
the
wasn't
shoes
wearing
exploded.
his super
I like
speed
that.
sneakers.
I like that point of it. I just don't like that weird kind of like twist motion.
like the
and the way
twist.
the twist gets me. That's
Yeah,
all it is. And it's
I
me
understand.
nitpicking. I realize that.
I like
everything
it.
else is
the scene
great.
that comes before it doesn't really match in terms of him making that move, in my opinion.
Oh, when he kind of like freezes and he watches everything happen.
Well,
He's just
as
like-
far as the way his feet are planted in like the shot right before he pivots,
yeah,
it's not a match, I don't think. But and I like the effect
That's us
personally.
looking. But I love every other effect. You know, going through the glass is awesome, and then kind of that focus pull through the glass. I think it maybe after he's out, where we kind of get that.
Yeah,
That's
I know what
super
you're talking
cool. And you know, it had initially in the sneak little peek that we got on this of him kind of like almost tiptoeing out, out of context, or maybe it was just me seeing it first, and I wasn't willing yet to embrace it. But I really do like it here, and how he kind of was just like so cautious and embracing the scene, and you know, just making his way there, and how he's so focused, concerned, and like just tearing up the eye, like all of those little touches on him as like this elemental force.
Did we
really
send
cool.
you that I think it was THR, the VF, was it THR or did the VFX breakdown, Brandon? I can't remember who did.
Could have been.
I saw the making of thing. Was that what you're talking about? Or
Yeah.
Somebody else? Okay, yeah. It was really cool.
Where there was no glass or any substance in that window.
Yeah, just kind of like points and runs through.
Yeah.
My finger points. Yeah, and Iris
on YouTube.
She's just like got a ball, like a cap on, keeping her hair down or whatever.
Yeah, they kind of do that underwater.
Or maybe
effect,
not
right?
a cap,
Added
but
all
she's got
of
her hair
her-
tied back.
Added all the hair, all the clothes that she was wearing. Which
So
is
he's
cool.
just touching nothing.
Yeah.
Act like you're toying with her hair.
Well, that's one of the things that I feel like we hear more and more about folks who work with Zack is like when he's directing them and they have a question, he always has a drawing there, like ready to show them exactly what he wants them to do. And this
What
was one of the
artist.
examples that he gave. Oh man.
Artist.
It's true. It's true.
But I really like Iris in this too. For as little as like we get of her, I still think it portrays a character, and a really likable character, and she kind of has that cool vibe that she should have.
Yeah.
Cool,
She has,
confident.
I think 2 words of dialogue, which is like, "Come on." She's trying to get the car to
Yeah,
start.
but you still get
She
character.
does it
there.
well though. It's good
She does.
delivery.
The
And
delivery.
you can tell she's she can tell she's frustrated with this car.
She is.
So,
She just got it working.
I know.
Classic.
Yeah. Wonder what she was doing in the pet store.
She was probably applying for the same
Maybe-
job.
Yeah.
He took a paycheck from her.
Come on.
She needed to really get that car fixed.
Yeah. You can tell she needs some money. She can't even fix her car, you know.
It's a nice car.
Context clues,
Not
Brandon.
anymore.
Come on. That's true.
Yeah. Not anymore.
What do you guys think about the song choice and
Love
that
it.
sequence? I think it's "Song of the Siren" cover by Rose Betts.
Yeah, I think I was listening to
I think it's a cover.
that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is a cover. Yeah, I think they recorded it specifically for this movie with that artist. I think she sent in a demo when they were trying to figure out. And
I was looking at her. I was looking at her YouTube, and she's like, some of the time, sometimes I just don't know where he finds these people. Like she has like maybe 1,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, and that's like after all of this stuff. So
And it's such a bold choice. Is like that's your introduction to the Flash. Is that song? Like you would never put that together. I think it really works. I really like it in that scene. But interesting choice, bold choice.
Yeah, I like it.
agree. We get the.
I think I'm in the same boat as Chris as far as like it just works better for me every time I watch it. Not just the scene, but especially like this, because at first I felt like the song choice was not kind of like we were talking about maybe in a previous episode, how the song choices aren't the obvious song choices for these sequences. And so they're a little jarring at first, but once you kind of, set in.
Yeah.
I love the way it ends too. You kind of get that muted lull before you get that, explosion
Bang,
in the back.
like that huge explosion. Yeah.
It's such a cool separation. Yeah.
Agree.
What did you think about the
I
old
love how
hot dog?
they kind of shot that before we talk about the hot dog.
Oh, sorry.
How he shot that transition, or ideated that transition, I guess, from the super VFX heavy him kind of guiding her down to like the actual like shot of her like with him on the ground in full clothes and hair. But what were you were talking? Would you bring up, Brandon? Hot dog?
Yeah, but as far as like him, like kind of gently, like easing her down instead of just running and grabbing her. I love that they have that little touch.
Yeah.
I was watching
we ever get that with other heroes.
No. Do what?
Have we really seen that with other heroes in movies before, of like them gently saving someone?
The only thing I can think of would be
maybe like a Raimi Spider-Man?
Man of Steel, when Superman pulls Lois out of the pod. But it's definitely not as like deliberate, intentionally done as this is.
Sorry, Brandon, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say that I was watching that Corridor Crew VFX breakdown and they were talking about this scene, and they were saying like, it's interesting because they were talking about her not having, her just having like a mocap suit on, and they said that Ezra was like the reason why he's like putting his hands like, not touching her, so to speak, is because of them not having clothes on at the time, and them. But I was like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong about that. This is they're not in.
Don't you underestimate my boy? Yeah,
there's probably sketches of
it. But yeah, I was wondering if you were going to grab the shot that I always comment about, where he's tucking the hot dog in his pocket. He like looks back. He's just so like proud of himself.
Oh, you mean this shot?
There it is. That's the one. I just love the little like smile. It's the smile on his face. He's just this will help for later.
This is apparently the hot dog motif is apparently pulled from the comics.
Yep.
Maybe the first Flash comic. I can't remember.
I don't know if it's the first, but it's an oldie for sure.
Someone will let us know in the comments.
That's right. This isn't live, Brandon, but
the comments of the video.
Video.
Yeah.
That's still a thing, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right. So then we move. After this sequence, we move on to. There's a short little scene where Steppenwolf and Parademons are interrogating some Atlanteans on some beach somewhere. Don't know where it is.
I think it's Normandy.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Omaha, actually.
Or it could be Daytona. Ignorant. I don't know. It's either Normandy or Daytona. They look similar.
That's true.
No comment.
I love this sequence. Just especially this shot right here, just showing the size difference in Steppenwolf and the Atlanteans.
I like the opening part, dragging him through the water.
Oh yeah, that's pretty great.
Such a cool visual. Reminds me of like when you see like the kind of like Navy SEAL like Hell Week.
Yeah,
everything, just like
yeah.
I don't know,
but so I think in the movie he uses that line to Steppenwolf. You have been near a mother box. The scent is on you. I think he says that multiple times in the movie. Does he not? Like I think that's a.
He talks about the parademons have follow the scent and.
I think he says it again. I could be wrong, but I think he says it again when they're in.
He may say it to Silas, or no, he says it to the guy, the Star Labs guy. I think maybe in.
Yeah, where he's got them
record.
All the prisoners. That's Steppenwolf.
Yeah, the scent is on you that's uninhabited of this movie. It's the regurgitated line over and over.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I had about this sequence. At first, we were talking about this, and I was like, "Huh?
Are you gonna talk about Atlanteans breathing?"
Well, I thought that we talked. We were like, is it because he's not highborn is the reason why he dies? But I think it's because he cracked his head open on that rock. I don't think.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I was trying to figure out why he died, because at first I was like, maybe this little device that's like, on his head is like killing him, but then it doesn't kill the other guy from Star Labs.
That's a lot of blood on that rock.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. That's why because then I was like, well, I came up with the idea, well, maybe it's the highborn. He's not highborn or whatever, and he can't breathe. And he just, died.
Yeah.
From not being able to breathe. But yeah, I think it's the head injury.
Which I do appreciate, because so many movies, like somebody's super strong, throws someone, and it's like, ugh, that hurt, or they're out of the way, or they're knocked out or something.
That's what's so great about.
No, they'll kill you.
Yeah, that's what's so great about him being able to do this R-rated and have blood and a little bit of gore,
more physical
in there, and we'll talk about that in Captain or whatever it is. It's Falcon and Winter Soldier with. Later,
whatever it is,
on other
Thank
episodes.
God Britt's not
here.
Although Britt would be excited that these boom tubes have like little hexagons.
They do. They do have little hexagons.
Oh,
maybe it ties back to WandaVision somehow. I know that he's really
it all wraps
got
back
these theories together. It all connects. So
for sure,
I think we got something.
So next we've got the scene of Lois in her apartment, where she pulls out the chest where she's got kind of her little memory box with Superman's cape and little photos and whatnot. These are the kind of things that being the Superman fan and after the theatrical experience, these are the kind of scenes that like totally pull at my heartstrings. So I love seeing these little the shots like this and the shots where it showed her like in bed where she was no one laying next to her, waking up in the middle of the night. Like
you're such a downer.
Hey,
love that misery.
Love me some dark movies. Yeah, you gotta earn it, Chris. You gotta earn that soups.
I know.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's a good scene. It's just another one of those just mood setting scenes that would have definitely got stripped out. That had to be cut down, but it's awesome that it's in there just to kind of, because you don't get a lot of Lois in this movie in general. So it's good to have kind of set the table and continue like on top of her. I guess the last time that we saw her was Heroes Park sequence. And so just to kind of touch in with her.
Yeah.
So if we had gotten a 3-hour long theatrical version of this movie, and then, you get the DVD with extras or whatever, and you see
Blu-ray.
scenes like this.
Blu-ray.
4K Blu-ray. Let me correct you correcting me. Would you be bothered by seeing little things like this in deleted scenes or extended scenes that they chopped away?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay.
I mean, I would be glad that it's one of those things where if you have to make a 3-hour movie, I understand, why you cut certain things. So I don't think that it, like in BVS, where they pulled a lot of the story out that actually made the movie not make sense. This wouldn't necessarily make the movie not make sense by pulling it out. But
the reason it would bother me is just because of the character that it focuses on. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff that a lot of the Lois stuff could potentially have been yanked in a 3-hour cut. But I felt, I don't know, when you've got 2 movies of lead up to him dying, like I really like, that was one of the things I was most looking forward to, is seeing the repercussions of that and how people dealt with it. So yeah, I guess that's probably where I'm coming from. I did appreciate that they made a point to, like, you had like the dried blood on the cape from when he was killed. And they also, I don't know if you noticed this, Chris, there's some interesting little like edge flares going on in a couple of different scenes in this part. Actually, you should go back and watch. This is one of them. Little like there's the light coming from the window up top.
Was it the grimy looking thing on the window?
No, so it's literally like at the very bottom of the frame. It's a very horizontal light thing going on, but it's coming from that window. It was just it was an interesting thing that they probably could have taken out, but I don't know. I like seeing how light plays in
yeah, for sure,
lenses like that,
especially these intimate scenes that he does.
Right.
The light is just so important.
Yeah. And then we move to the Batcave with Bruce and Diana.
Is it the cave or is this the hangar?
This is the cave, correct? They're on the computer.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the cave, but I can't say for sure
I think they've got
you
that
guys
right now because I'm trying to recall.
monitors up.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet
Or
it's-
multiple monitor
Oh,
stations. I
Batman,
don't know.
man.
Yes, it's the cave. Confirmed.
Gotcha.
So, what do you guys think about the mouse snafu? Yep,
And the follow-up dialogue.
the first little Bruce.
It
Diana
happens. I mean,
moment. It does happen.
It's happened to all of us. All three of us together.
Yeah. So
mouse on.
That's right. Do you think this is something that I think I guess you weren't on there, Brandon. We talked about this a little bit on the vodka stream last week.
Oh, I remember. I listened.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that this is very intentional. I don't see how you wouldn't think it was.
It
seems like it lingers for a long time to not be intentional, like foreshadowing something going on there.
No, I mean,
I don't think it'd be there at all if
don't-
it wasn't foreshadowing something.
yeah, I don't see why it's in there. If it's not.
Plus, they had their tension and at least all the animated stuff. I didn't really read much of the Justice League comics, but
Mhm.
I think it's established that there's always a little something there.
Yep,
Plus, he's cooler than Steve Trevor.
that's true. That's also true. She's tried that twice. It's not going to work out.
Yeah,
1.5 times. So in this sequence, they decide that Diana is going to go recruit Cyborg and Bruce is going to go try and tackle Barry Allen. Not literally. That'd be impossible.
I wish. I wish.
Then we kind of jump
in the theatrical. He does catch him in midair somehow. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah.
I was
like
a bat.
I know we don't want to get too big in the weeds of theatrical. We don't try and think about it too often. But when that happened, I was like, how did Bruce know how to?
He's trained in the mountains, Brandon.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh. So after this, we get the Cyborg kind of like. There's a lot going on in this sequence. It's basically like a giant Cyborg origin story, where we see him playing football at Gotham City. Yeah, little photo there. The principal's office sequence where he's in trouble for I think hacking system to change people's grades, and then the whole empty seat deal where his dad's not there, and car ride home where his mom dies in the hospital bed. But what did you guys? So I'm a stickler for, and I know Brandon doesn't care. I'm a stickler for sports sequences in movies.
It's not that I don't care. I like sports movies. I just don't like sports.
I just mean like the sequence, like how the sequences are treated, like whether they're like authentic feeling or not. And this
I'm
is
curious to know what your thought, because I know that you were interested in this from the get-go. To me, this felt, and I'm not a big sports guy, so maybe you guys felt differently, but this felt very choreographed versus, and obviously stylized because it's Snyder, but didn't feel as true to life as in terms of an actual, I don't know, maybe that's just me.
So it's one of those things where, so as far as the movements go, like I actually didn't have any, the only issue I had with like the realism in this of this scene is kind of how loose Victor is with the football at times. He's just kind of carrying it, way out from his, Michael Vick in it, carrying the ball way out from his body. And I think I just kind of, yes, you can tell there are certain moments where that they've just got him like basically like slow acting.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I say I like the guy jumping over him, like a lot of these like attempted tackles and things are like obvious, like I'm not trying to really tackle you, I'm trying. Yeah,
I wasn't a huge fan of them.
Yeah, so this was choreographed by Eli Snyder, Zack's son, right? Who played that like I can't remember where he was. He was a QB at some college. I'm not sure where, but I don't think that it's like, I think it looks cool, but it, like I said, it's like, I feel like it's like Chris's hang up with like the prequels with the fighting sequence, the lightsaber sequences, like they feel super like choreographed and rehearsed. That's kind of the way this felt to me.
Like, I don't know. I just didn't have an issue with like tackling at the end zone was fine. Like, it's one of those things where like, if he was going to shoot it like this, where everything was going to be so slow, like it's impossible to shoot the thing at full speed and have it.
I love that. I love the snow setting. I think that adds like a lot of.
I agree. It would probably look feel a lot different if it didn't have that to establish kind of the what they were going for.
Yeah. It definitely helps like portray time a lot, like visually. Like this shot with like when he's spinning, I think that's one of the more iconic shots of the sequence. I mean, obviously people will point to him diving into the end zone, but I like this shot more than anything.
I would pick this shot over the end zone in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I like that. And Ryan, you actually pointed out to me how you like the detail of the handoff, how he really sells it like a real quarterback would. I think that's a cool shot too, kind of taken from
like where he's looking and stuff. I don't know. There's just stuff like that this isn't a sports movie, so you don't expect.
Well, I know. So I had a problem with this, and not being a sports guy, but I know that visually they wanted to show. Yeah, they wanted to show that Silas isn't there, so they had the seat laying down. But those seats, unless that seat's broken, that sucker would be up because hers is up.
Sometimes they break.
Else's is up. But yeah, I had an issue with that.
No, I get you.
But I did. The little time that we get with Victor's mom, I thought that she was good, and I love their talk in the car.
Dude, that was the first time you really see his acting chops in this movie, like where he like tears up like that. It's like,
man, he has a great speaking voice too.
Yeah,
like if Ray Fisher started like narrating audiobooks, like, all right, I'm gonna listen to that one. But is it a normal thing for a doctor to like correct someone if they're called Mr. or Mrs. and like it's doctor?
Well, speaking, it depends on the person.
Brandon, you tell me, you're a doctor.
But I'm always very weary. Like when I have to work with a few doctors that have doctorates at UGA, and so I don't want to offend, and I don't know if they want me to call them doctor or whatever. So I just instead of addressing them, I just say, "Hey." I don't say, "Hey, good evening, doctor." Whatever. I just say,
"Do they
hello,
call you Bachelor Brandon?"
Hey.
Because it's just one of those things. Because I feel like a lot of people, like depending on the person, they get a little pretentious about it. It's Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know that a lot of people looked at this scene as either being like a slight from the dean to her, whether it's a female thing or a race thing. I don't know. I could see it being either, I guess, but I lean towards maybe.
The only quip I have with this, or gripe I have with this scene, is the like, I don't fully understand why he's smiling out in the hallway.
Yeah,
like just.
I mean, I get he's proud of what he did, and like I guess he's mom stood up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's that. I guess, if he can hear what's going on in there.
Yeah, it seemed like he could.
Yeah. I will say, you mentioned the car sequence. I thought it was cool that, so right before the car hits them, he reaches his arm out like to stop it, just as like an instinctive thing. And then I realized too later on, when his dad is, the laser is kind of disintegrating him, that is mirrored, and he's reaching out with his arm, with his other arm, like same kind of like perspective, like looking over his shoulder out.
Well, that's I mean, I guess that's also to me, I mean, I see that parallel, but it also kind of was a callback to the Jonathan Kent Clark scene in Man of Steel, as far as the scene that you're talking about with Silas.
Ryan, have you seen that?
What's that? Man of what?
Man of Steel. Still.
Steel and Gremlins. GRIM. So yeah, then we've got the shot of him in the hospital bed, where he's basically just a torso.
A little worse for wear.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you felt about this, knowing that you don't really tend to like this kind of thing. Speaking of our like RoboCop.
Oh yeah, forgot about
this. This shot here in the hospital bed is the only one that really like kind of like skeeved me a little bit. Just like, I can't, for people watching, I can't, the shot in RoboCop where the new RoboCop, where he's on that, I don't know, is he on a bed or is he up facing up? I can't remember.
I feel like he's facing up.
He's like looking down and seeing like organs,
everything missing.
But not, like can't do it. Just can't do it. I don't know why. Just can't do it. But like, I didn't really mind any of the stuff where he's flashing back to like when the mother box is being activated and he's up on the wall or whatever. For some reason, it's just this one that got me a little bit.
Am I the only one that gets like T2 detonator vibes when Silas starts to break down?
Yeah, I can see that.
I get T2 vibes anytime he's on
Every
screen.
time he's on screen.
Man, he is great in this too. And that's another character that didn't exist.
I love, like, as many people know, I love T2, so I will forever associate him as Miles Dyson. So good.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that. No, it's good.
So we get next people. So many people just left.
Both of them.
We're not live, Ryan.
No, I mean, people. Never mind. It's not important.
I know.
We get Silas the recording that he leaves, the Sony recorder.
It is a Sony.
It is definite product placement throughout this movie for Sony. Where he kind of explains Victor's powers to him, which
is so nice to have in a movie with a hero introduced in live action for the first time ever.
Right. It was an interesting way to do it too, I thought, like, versus him, like, obviously he finds things out as the movie goes along.
Yeah.
But to like have a like genius level intellect, who's also his dad, like actually tell him like what's going on with him. I thought it was cool. There's some cool visuals in this sequence too, with him like stopping the nuclear arsenal up in the sky, and the bulls and bears for the financial institution.
I thought it was a sports thing. Bulls and football, basketball.
Yeah.
Bulls.
Okay. Moving on.
No, wasn't. Okay.
Then we get we do get in the middle of the sequence, we get his first flight. There it is with him smiling. Did you guys have any? I've seen online some people have issue with him with his like face shield that pops on. I don't have an issue with it.
It feels functional.
Yeah,
whenever we see it, it's like he goes through something or like super fast here.
That's the thing that I noted. I think somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but was complaining about that, and I was like, well, he only uses it when he's breaking through something. Like that's like the only part of his body that's still, like tissue.
Don't remind Ryan.
This other person that you remember complaining about it, was he a child, maybe a family member of yours that watched the movie after we? Yep.
Yeah, what a dummy.
Okay.
I love you, Brandon, over here refuting children's arguments.
Wrong. I need that drop.
That's right. That would be a good one to have, actually.
And the thing about all the drops that I want to use, Film Junkie Dave uses them. And I don't want to copy him, but it's like stuff that we do all the time, even before like we started watching the show. And so it's like, man, he's already using that one. Gotta figure out
obscure.
Yeah.
Get all your Kung Pao references.
Yeah. We get the sequence of the waitress where probably if there was one thing that could have been trimmed down.
This is my bathroom break moment.
Yeah.
Because
I think she's down on her luck. That's what I've gathered.
I think
she's a good lady. She works hard. Mm-hmm. She's just down on that luck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he fixes it, and he stands really close while she realizes.
That's true. Yeah,
that's what I was like.
Why
didn't he's like 10 feet from her. He should at least be across the street or something.
If
maybe
this is supposed
maybe his range.
Brandon, all right.
Maybe his range isn't up to par. He's got to be pretty close to the ATM machine in that moment.
I feel like I talked to one or both of you about this. I feel it's a missed opportunity too for him to do something like this, and then her to turn and be like scared because he's right there.
Oh yeah,
and then it kind of plays into that, like him being angry and feeling like the monster. Sure. So it was like something I kind of waited for and didn't happen.
Yeah, you got it from the people walking down the street afterwards, though.
Yeah.
So next we get
he does help them, and one of the very few moments, like we talked about earlier, when he's smiling. So getting a little smile from old Victor, which is nice.
Booyah.
Vic smiles.
Then we get the couple that are kind of grotesque, like kind of grossed out by him.
Oh, I was grossed out too.
Then we get another Barry Allen sequence where he visits his dad in prison, and again, I kind of
don't we get is this so? Maybe I just added this late in the game, but isn't the parademon sequence when the parademon lands on the okay?
Yep.
So I had the thumbnail for it, so I got to use it. I mean, I put Put it in the work, so you guys are going to watch it.
There it is, guys. Parademon.
So so that's the first instance of like him, I guess, like his whatever he is now, apocalyptic tech, kind of has its like it reacts
mechanism
to danger.
Also,
and he's like, "What is this?"
Today?
Also sets the you kind of see the reaction of like homeless people out on the streets of the parademon, so it kind of sets the table for the Gordon Gotham PD kind of sequence where everybody's going nuts, where he says reality challenge or something like that. don't have to look up in the sky to
Oh no, it's full moon.
something. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good context shot. So now we've got the Flash and
Now we're here.
Yeah, and Henry Allen sequence. And I want to ask Chris again because he's a Flash guy. What are your thoughts on Billy Crudup in this scene? How do you like?
Man, I love him as Henry Allen. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed that he's going away. I know, I'm not happy about that. But maybe my acknowledgement of love will change that. You don't know who watches your channel. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, he's great. This is a scene that's really hard for me not to think to the theatrical version and compare it. So it's tough for me to just not look at this as a comparison scene. And this is, to me, so much better with the dialogue. I feel like in the theatrical, it's been a while, but I feel like it was really forced.
Yeah.
On how he kind of like gives the backstory of what happened with his dad being there and his mom, whereas this seemed a little more organic.
The stupid like Sharpie
waiting room
too on the. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Kills me.
So we skip that.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anymore, guys.
But yeah, I really dig the relationship they show here. And it is a cool like juxtaposition with Cyborg and his relationship with his dad and all the circumstances, and then Barry and the relationship with his dad and all the circumstances. I mean, both of them are absent for different reasons, but you can see how it's, Barry's unfazed by it, but, Victor has like all this angst and, anger and resentment towards it.
Well, one's basically running to
assuming the worst and assuming the best. Yeah. But yeah, I like a lot of the comments here about like running in place and kind of the acknowledgement.
The quotes here, like it's so Flash, like it's awesome. Going in circles, can't watch you run in place for some old dude who isn't going anywhere. And then we obviously have the foreshadow of you're brilliant, man, absolute best of the best. Make your own future. You're living in the past. Line. I also love how they kind of make him his dad like eccentric a little bit, like he's not that he's off, but he's just kind of like an odd dude.
Yeah.
I wonder if he tailored that after Ezra. Like he
maybe
played into that. Like kind of like all the Themyscira and like women modeled their accent after Gauls. They're like, just model this after Ezra.
I always think about when I think about that, I always think about the sequence at the end of the movie where he's like, look at you go, and like says all this stuff, and he's like, Dad, you're gonna get tased again or whatever, or maced again.
Does he say look at you go in this version? I think that's theatrical. I think that's
just that kind of stuff though is what I'm talking about.
I feel like he says it in this, but you guys have seen it more.
I thought it was in this version up to this moment, but now you've got me doubting myself. So
I'm pretty sure that he doesn't say "look at you go." I think that's theatrical.
Well, now we're gonna have to research this and throw it back in Brandon's face if he's wrong. If he's right, then
I still like that line though. But it's a little more backstory too. You see that it's a little more backstory with Barry as well. We see that he's getting involved in criminal justice, and he'll eventually be involved in Central City PD. It's mentioned to his genius because that is kind of a point of his character that is otherwise just he's quirky. If they don't bring it up here.
Yeah. This is another instance where it benefits from this movie being not beholden to a shorter runtime, like just lets this scene play out slow, and especially like, them putting their hand on the glass and just having that. It takes a minute for Henry to start talking, and then he's like, I want you to listen to me, and I need you to hear. Like they take their time with it, and it just allows that emotion to play out between the two of them.
I just don't like that. That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
I just don't like that delivery. I don't know. But aside from that,
I'm not a big fan of the delivery. It is a little weird. But
trying to find that sequence at the end with his dad now. I'm like scrubbing.
Well. Yeah. Open the gate. Next.
Yeah.
Is that what he says?
Open the gate. Yep. That's what he says, Chris.
I heard it a little different.
Debate that.
Okay. All right.
Then we get the Barry Allen, Bruce Wayne sequence.
Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Which we've seen. I think this was shot. I think the shot was like in the initial Comic-Con
sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit extended in like it kind of like talking about, it lingers a little longer in this one where he's like, it kind of
But
like
you also get him like
more.
Yeah, well, you get establishing shots too, just him going into his apartment, unlocking, like getting the battery or whatever out of the thing to power his apartment, and just that's what's so great about this is like you get that kind of stuff that you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, the battering thing it also lingers on that a lot longer than previous version.
Agree.
And I love that, and I know that you're a sucker for the focus. The focus pulls in. I got this one just right when it pulled too, buddy.
Ding. Yep.
What a still.
I know. No.
What did you guys think or Chris, you specifically, what did you think of kind of his layer, like as far as like character building goes? Like, do you feel like that fits with like your kind of ideal version of the Flash?
I mean, I guess so. I'm not like super in love with it, but it's cool, and I like that there's so much going on that it almost kind of fits out, like that hyperactive, doing everything, attention deficit disorder kind of thing you get with Flash.
How does he afford this stuff?
He steals it because he's really fast.
That's true.
He works 3 jobs, and he tells his dad it's for criminal justice degrees, but it's for more monitors.
Yeah, he could use a couple more.
Yeah. At least he's not playing K-pop this time around.
That is
true.
Wow, that is true. I forgot
the
about
theme
that.
here is a little strange. The music that they kind of use, it like has like weird pulses to it. I don't know if you guys kind of noticed that at all.
When like
their whole interaction,
or I know what you're talking about.
As soon as their interaction
like
kind of starts,
it's like the kind of like electric pulsing, kind of
a little bit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But Victor, we missed it before. I love his theme. And that was great to hear in the earlier scenes.
It's awesome. Pretty much all the character themes in this movie are pretty spot on for me.
Yeah, let's get that GoFundMe for that box set.
That's right. Jeez, $200. Really got to lay it down to get that full vinyl set. Chris, you're gonna do it. I know it.
Let me finagle a discount.
Yeah,
of
course you will.
Yeah, well,
set a view number goal for your video. That's like a little bit of you'd be excited, and if we reach it, then I'll pull the trigger, shoot the bullet, something.
He'll pull the bullet.
We'll figure it out.
Flash will pull.
That's how much committed
commitment
I have here. Yes.
If we get 1,000 views,
you guys always get 1,000 though, right?
Chris will buy Zack Snyder's Justice League
3K.
That's final. That's final. You didn't name your number, Chris. It's too late.
Try to. Pull that bullet, man.
What's up, Brandon?
Before we leave this scene, I know that you were, I think you were surprised, Ryan, that the snack hole thing was still in place, maybe that contextually you just were more okay with it. I don't know, without the brunch.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad that the brunch stuff was not in it. The snack hole thing, it's still not like my favorite line, but it didn't bother me given the context, like character.
But see, it's like it's like a black hole, but instead it's a snack hole.
Got it.
Did you get that?
I got it.
Okay, just making sure you got it.
Thanks, Brandon.
I am glad that the "What's your superpower? I'm rich" thing, because I always like that. That's the kind of humor I can get behind with Bruce Wayne.
I agree. Also, like how
he's
the door
not
just like closes on him. Like you don't give time to like any kind of like reaction or anything like on screen. It's just kind of like I'm rich. Yeah.
Then this is the scene we get the billboard, right?
Yep. The AFSP billboard. I think it says "You are not alone," which is a callback to Man of Steel. Oh no, Brandon's having technical difficulties.
It won't.
Yeah, okay.
It's
sure,
not
you
doing
got it,
anything
Brandon.
for me.
Sure, you got it. Yeah, Chris has it too. Chris got it pulled up also.
Hang on.
Pull that bullet, Brandon. Get it.
Keep talking.
Well, if I keep talking, we're gonna move on. Wow,
Here we go.
Right, he's just gone. Okay,
Let's cover all the Batman stuff while he's gone. Everything, Bruce.
All right. So, anyways, quick. We move into the Alfred Diana. Oh, he's back.
So the tea was great. Moving on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, something. I don't know. Something. It froze on my end.
Something.
That's all right. That's okay.
But
you living on a farm, boy?
There it is.
Boom.
Oh. Is that the Batmobile?
Not
made by Mercedes?
That's the Mercedes bill.
I'm
I
pretty
didn't
sure
realize it was
Sony
Mercedes. They didn't really point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's subtle. But the AFSP thing. I love that they decided to do that, and the "You Are Not Alone" tie-in is perfect. Like it just
like it fits.
Yeah.
Agreed. Tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
So next we move on to the tea scene that Chris mentioned earlier. Alfred and Diana discussing tea and gauntlets. Brandon, kind of did you enjoy this sequence here?
Yeah. Well, I think I may have said prior that I love, again, another element of this movie that wouldn't have been in theatrical, but I'm so glad it's here. This whole tea making stuff and how hilarious Alfred is in this moment. Like wanting to let her do her own thing, but also just like being very like super British and wanting to make sure she makes this correctly.
Right. Be sure you don't scald the tea.
Right. But yeah, no, I love them laying the groundwork that Alfred's been doing some like R&D on this gauntlet tech, or just the platelet technology that will eventually go into the entire suit. But first he starts with it.
Later, Alfred. I need the Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he and just showing him testing it and how Wonder Woman's like, oh, you kind of modeled that after me, and the black lasso thing,
the Kryptonian like blaster rifle. It was cool. Like just seeing I really haven't seen that since like Krypton and Man of Steel. So I thought it was cool. Yeah. And then Diana goes and meets Victor in the alleyway or street, I guess. In the theatrical, he like walks out from the alley.
Yeah, I love that clip that when Zach was breaking down the scene, he's like, I don't know what this is.
So good. You like tried to play it cool.
It's such a passive aggressive dig. I love it. So this is our second F-bomb of the movie.
That's right. F the world.
Sometimes I forget to mute it when kids are around.
Yeah.
Or
get in trouble for that.
So basically Diana here is trying to encourage Victor to kind of come out of hiding like she has been for I guess the last 100-ish years. If you don't count 84. She came out and did some stuff in 84.
Yeah, I don't count it.
That was
the 80s.
Other Worlds.
People forget stuff in the 80s. Yes. Anyways, do you guys have anything you want to add on this, or before we move on to the Ryan Choi and the electron laser and whatnot?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I like that. She uses her history to kind of reach out to him, relate to him, and but yeah, I love that he's still standoffish. And
Yeah, I like the body mechanics as she kind of steps forward. He's like, not quite cowering, but you can kind of see he's very apprehensive.
Sure.
Do we go straight to the graveyard from here, or is that further?
We go to actually, I think we do. This was one of the scenes that
trailer we never got.
Well, I think he posted this photo, one of the first kind of early photos he posted to Vero when he was going through this whole process. Or no, it was before it was announced, actually. Was this sequence, and everybody was kind of wondering what it was. But so Victor's basically burying the mother box at his own gravesite.
About an inch deep.
Yeah.
Got a little layer of dirt on top of there.
That's what they do, apparently.
Yeah.
Just throw some dirt on it.
I think that was just a call out that he still is human, given you've seen how, man buries the boxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Call back.
Yeah.
That's an interesting observation.
Thank you.
Anyways,
that's pretty deep, about 6 feet deep, but it's deep.
6 inches deep. Brandon.
Moving on.
Yeah, then we get a couple of quick little scenes. Ryan Choi explaining how the electron laser works to Silas, where it essentially seems like with alien material, it absorbs the heat. It's just superheated in the interior, so we kind of get like that groundwork laid for the mother box, him marking the mother box later on. And also after this, Silas returns home and sees the smashed recorder and is abducted by a parademon. Right there. That's the one. And then we get our first Gordon sequence. Brandon.
I think next we get the.
Oh yes,
that's awesome. Chris's
that's
favorite.
your symbol, right?
Well, I love, and I didn't pick it up this past time of when he's lowering down and he goes, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah,
that is my new favorite part of that sequence.
Nice. Hi, what did you say? Hi, Barry. I'm Diana. That's not right.
Yep. But then we get the Gordon scene.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, being the Batman guy? What are your thoughts on him kind of doing his walkthrough in the HQ there?
I mean, I love the visual storytelling. Things are going crazy in Gotham per usual. He's got a ton of calls that he's being given. He throws them all in the trash can. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love the little sketch that everybody thinks is Batman. He's like, I think after 20 years that he's kidnapping people or whatever, and it's like, talk to him tonight.
Yeah. I love the walk off after that. I'll talk to him tonight. He just walks off camera. Like, it's just such a power move shot kind of thing.
I just love J.K. Simmons so much that I wish I got to see a little bit more of him owning the Gordon role.
Make the Batflex show. Hashtag make the Batflex show.
Indeed.
Just with a little snippet like this, it's almost like he's wasted. I just want to see more.
I agree. I love how he just kind of throws the notes out that he's given. So then we move to the Atlantean mother box, which awakens. And one thing in this movie that I feel like was kind of, I think we've mentioned this in the past, but it's kind of undercut a little bit by the fact that it came out after Aquaman, was Mira's mention of King Orm.
Yeah.
Which if I would have seen this first, like I would have been, because I love Orm and as a comic book character, I would have been blown away that he was even being mentioned like world building wise in this movie.
I have not seen Aquaman, and I think it's cool.
Nice. There you go. So you got the experience.
Well, I watched like the first 15 minutes and had some technical
okay.
difficulties with it being terrible.
Yeah.
My TV just turned off.
It's just one of those things where like if we had been able to see this when it was intended to come out, it just would have been a cool moment that was, just timeline wise was a little undercut by Aquaman coming up before it. But so we get the Steppenwolf booms into this little holding area. Yeah. Bubble boy booms in. And
nice little back and forth with Mira, especially like that, two really great sequences with obviously Steppenwolf's just wrecking people, cutting Atlanteans in half and whatnot. But I love that moment where she's like pulling the blood out of his head.
Blood out of him, yeah.
And then also the part where she like, kind of pulls the water apart and he falls, which is really cool. Which I think something like that happened in the Aquaman movie with the Orm and Aquaman fight, the first one.
Yeah. The blood thing was the one that really stood out to me. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
not trying to.
I was preparing notes for this yesterday, and Katie walked out when the sequence was going on, and I had to put her quote on here. She like stopped and watched for a couple minutes. She said, "That's badass. Put her on the list of women who are done a lot more justice by Zack Snyder."
It's true.
I was like, "That's my girl."
It's true.
Especially after you see everybody get wrecked, and then how she just has like these awesome moments of like dropping him and just like standing up to him, and then that blood sequence, like you guys were just talking about.
Yeah,
it's cool stuff.
Her costume in this movie is so much better than Aquaman as well.
Yeah, and her hair.
Yes, that kind of goes without saying. So yes, Steppenwolf booms out with the
Steppenwolf almost kills Mira and is saved.
Yeah. By this guy.
Yeah.
Kind of gives her an up and down look.
Yeah. Oh, hey there.
Ooh, I dig it.
I don't love their dialogue right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like something really big just happened, and they're like, all right, we're not going to mention that at all. Just talk about your mom, and then you can back up through the water.
Yeah, I mean, they do at least kind of mention, like, he talks about how it's his responsibility to go to the surface and retrieve it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like,
I do love that delivery though, with him, like what a saint. I think that's actually where this clip, this little comes from. But I love how Arthur is so just, he has like, he and Victor both have big chips on their shoulder.
Yeah.
My favorite line with him, and like in the underworld environment we talked about last time, is the Volko line where he's like, "They don't call me king of the surface. What do you want, Volko?"
Yeah.
What do you want? I just don't have time for this. Yeah. What were you saying, Chris?
I kind of forgot. Oh no, that we just didn't really get the chip on his shoulder in the theatrical, and that was such a huge character change for me that I like so much better. And I also, in the fight sequence, I would have liked to seen him doing like having the upper hand, being in his element, like he's in the water. I would have liked to see him laying on Steppenwolf a little bit more, but it's me nitpicking.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. So that kind of we get a quick little sequence where Steppenwolf returns and puts the second mother box into the monolith, and the kind of like the fortress that he's building is completed. And he has a little quick chat with Desaad again, which every time Desaad is on screen,
it's great.
It's just awesome.
I just love that voice.
Yeah, so good. Needle teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Old needle teeth.
Yeah.
Call them.
But yeah, that wraps up. I think that wraps up there's little puppy eyes Steppenwolf. Yeah. That wraps up part 3. We will be returning to review the 4th part next week. We're going to start having some other folks join as well for these. I think we've got the Comic Movie Marks and Scott McClellan and others. Poindexter is going to join at one point. So look forward to that. Until then, definitely hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. And then give us a follow on Twitter at CapeCast Show. We are always talking comic book movies and everything that you can imagine geek over there. So definitely give us a follow. Until next time, gentlemen.
Follow Chris at Grapplegram.
That's right.
Grapplegram. But just
on Insta.
Make a fake account and give you guys an extra follow. That's all I want.
Oh.
I'll buy you some
all about the metrics.
Yeah.
All right, gents. Till next time.
So long.
Bye, boys.